You're good to go, brother.
Hey, good evening, everybody. My name is Peter Bexelman, and for those of you that have been with us here in the past, you know what this is. This is our usual Tuesday Night Live, and we've been doing this for a very, very long time. I can tell you this is a thing that we're committed to, and Tuesday nights are very special, both to myself and to us corporately. This is our way to interact. This is the only time that we really interact both to our partners and to non-partners at the exact same time. The Tuesday nights are really made for everybody. And we feel like the things we talk about, the things we do on Tuesday, the content we deliver really, really is pertinent to everybody. And so what I always like to do is I always like to give you all a couple minutes to dial in. I know we have a lot of people dial in from a lot of places. And as always, the one things we'd love for you to do is introduce yourself. Tell us who you are. Tell us where you're dialing in from. Maybe share a little bit about, yourself and what you're doing. I know we're here in Atlanta. We're in the middle of a heat wave. I mean, literally just yesterday, spent a whole 2 days on the boat, and we're still frying it up here. But just in a couple short days, we're heading to Florida, and we're going to be meeting with a ton of people there, very much real estate focused, some non. In a couple weeks, I'm traveling to New York. A couple weeks afterwards, we're heading back to New York again, actually, for another trip. So my next number of weeks are full. So I hope yours too. I hope your summer is going great. I hope you're having an exciting time. But, I want to tell you, I just really appreciate you guys being here. I mean, let's face it, we are in the middle of summer. Kids are starting school, sports teams are starting, athletics teams are starting. I guess people tell me this is when the mini series start on TV. I know a lot of you guys could be in a lot of different places, but I'm glad you guys are here. I really am, because it tells me that when there's every reason that you could be somewhere else, but you're still here, it tells me I'm talking to the right people, and that is exciting. So again, as you guys are dialing in from wherever you're dialing in from, don't be shy. Introduce yourself. Maybe share a little bit about yourself, and we'll be getting started here in just a couple short minutes. I actually just literally walked in. This is actually, I don't think we've ever done this. This is my office. This is, I know we don't have a rotating camera, but I used to be more of a cigar aficionado, definitely not aficionado, just a cigar guy. Over here is lined with a bunch of stuff from cigars, and right behind me, I was just talking about New York. It was a live picture we took from New York. Yeah, I think this is literally the first time, as long as we've been doing this, that I'm doing this from my personal office inside our building. But the reason I bring this up is literally right before I walked in here, we were meeting with Rafa and Julie, and we were just talking about some really, really cool stuff that we have coming up. And, sometimes we try to pick out topics for these webinars for you guys. And I could tell you, if we just line up all the cool things we have gosh, forget the cool things. If we just, if we could literally fill these Tuesday nights with just the app that so many of you guys are already utilizing. By the way, I know we're somewhat in the beta mode for our partner-driven app, but I could tell you the usage of it, what those of you that are actually using it, or those of you that been fortunate enough to be in our beta run, you guys are using just the crap out of it. I mean, we were talking to our partner, Ben, about it just a couple of days ago, and he was showing us the stats on it. And I mean, they're off the charts. It's like it's a beta version. It's only been out a couple of weeks, and the usage is like in a thousands on a daily basis. I mean, that doesn't really happen. You don't just put an app out there to, 100 beta users, and then, usually what happens, you put it out to 100 beta users, and they find everything that's wrong with it, because that's really why you beta something. In our world, we put this thing out to 100 or 200 beta users, and the usage is off the charts. That just tells me that the stuff that we're utilizing with it, how we're letting you use it out in the field, how we're able to provide information for you in real time right there in front of properties, skip trace them, identify ownership and stuff. That just tells me it's over the top. And I mean, literally, we could probably have, and we probably should, we could have a series of things about this partner-driven app. It's phenomenal. I mean, I could just tell you, and the reason I say beta is because we're about ready to re-release it, and then we're going to re-release it. And when the final version comes out here in not too short of a near future, I could tell you it's going to be it's not going to be the premier app as it relates to real estate in the functions of what it does. It's going to be the premier app in real estate, period. I mean, that's really all the functionality that's going to have. So, you know, I mean, literally, like I said, we could just sit here and I could talk to you for, you know, probably next 6 Tuesdays about that. But beyond that, you know, we're planning our next live event. And guys, let me just tell you something. If there's ever a game changer that we do, it's our live event. And I know here in the next week or two, we're going to have a registration page. But what I will also tell you is block off January 11th and 12th. It's right back here in Atlanta. It's going to be phenomenal. I mean, I could honestly say that our live events are life-changing. You know, people say, well, how do you know, this is, you know, real estate life-changing. Yeah, they're that impactful because people come here to do deals with us. People don't come to our live event just to learn, just to study, just to feel good about themselves, just do a bunch of cheering. People come to our live events to do deals. And I could tell you, we had ours last month, live event, and our last Monday, once a week, I get together with our crew here, and we go over our deals, our partner deals. And if, you know, if before our contracts of the partners we're doing was this high, after our live event, and went that high. And there's really nothing else we could account for it other than people coming to the live event. Because it becomes more real. Like, really, I could do deals with these guys. This is not just some kind of a guru education stuff. This is actually investment company that wants to do deals. So you got to be here. All I could tell you is that 11th and 12th of January, block off that weekend. Again, we'll have more details about it, but that weekend and it's both for partners and people that are wanting to become partners. So it's going to be absolutely phenomenal. So again, I could just talk on and on and on about all the things that we have coming up here for you guys. And it's that cool. And so, like I said, I just got out of a meeting with Rafa and Julie, and we were just brainstorming about all these things that are coming up and all that. But let's do this, guys. What I don't want to do is I don't want to kind of get off on a tangent. I like to start out these Tuesday meetings the same way. And that's really to address you all as our audience. Because there's really what I've learned after doing this for so long, these Tuesday nights, I realized one thing. There's 2 types of people that listen to us every Tuesday night, whether it's in a live environment or whether it's in a recorded format. One group is those of you that are already partners with us. You're part of that stack of people that we're doing deals with. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, literally, I got my phone here at the bottom, but a couple of days ago, I get this text. I don't think I saved it. There was a text from Laura, and if you're a partner of ours, you know who Laura is. And she texted me. She's like, Pete, man, you got to do a video, do a live video. It's unbelievable. In one day, we got like, you know, the most contracts from our partners we've ever gotten in. I think it's like that one day we got like, I don't know, we got like 10 contracts in. And that's the first type of individual that's listening to us here tonight. And I could just tell you, I know why you're here. You're here the same reason I was in this type of a scenario 20 years ago. You're a partner. You already have great access with us. Hopefully you got a great relationship with myself and my staff. You're already tapping in probably on a daily basis. You're already doing what it needs to be done, but you're like me 20 years ago. You want more. I mean, you're just like, I want more. I want more of what they got. I want to be more connected to my partners. And that's why you're here. This is just another way for you to connect with us on a weekly, daily basis. And it's a way for you to learn a little bit more that maybe you haven't learned. Maybe it's a way for you to reinforce what you're doing. But again, it's a way for you to feel connected, be more part of the environment. And I can tell you that's absolutely critical. You know, and I always tell people this: the more you become part of the environment, the more you become part of the team. You know, why do you think teams go places together? Right? Because coaches and people that run teams understand that the more the team stays together, the closer it gets, the more values created, the bigger chance. You know, you're never going to see a team flying to the Super Bowl in like 20 different planes. No, what? Same thing here. So for those of you that are partners, we love that you tap in on Tuesdays. And again, this is just another way for you to connect with us, interact with us, another link to us. And I tell you what, we appreciate it. We absolutely love it. And all I could tell you is this: we got to get more deals, right? Because that's what this is all about. And the second group that's listening to us tonight, you're not quite our partner, but you've heard about us. You've heard of us maybe through social media. Maybe somebody told you about us. Maybe somebody referred you to us. You know, maybe you heard about us at our local RIA club. And to you, this is like kind of cool, a little bit unusual, right? Because in the end, the one thing I do know, 20 years in the business, thousands of deals behind me, the one thing I do know, there's no one that does this at the level we do it with as many partners as we do it. We're the only company in the United States that literally, we're a real estate investment company. You know, I've been an investor for 20 some years. I've run all types of models. I've done all kinds of, there's probably not a technique I haven't done. I've done the fix and flip, the wholesale, the retail, the subject twos. There's not many deals I haven't done. I've done houses, land, apartments, commercials. I've also done type of real estate within the industry. I've been a private lender. I've been an investor. You know, I've had a property management company, you know, you name it. So when it comes to real estate, I feel like, and it's really just because it comes because of how long I've been doing it. I pretty much feel like I've seen it all and I've done it all. I could tell you, we've really got it dialed in now in terms of our investing, because what we have decided to do some time ago corporately is we decided we're probably stronger in partnership format than we are in as just a sole entity. So some time ago, we made a corporate decision that we were going to switch to a partner-driven real estate investment company. And guys, let me tell you something. Before that happened, these offices, I mean, behind my wall, there was a call center. Across that way was a bunch of negotiators. I mean, we were like full-blown, you know, all-out effort, finding deals ourselves, marketing ourselves, doing deals ourselves. And by the way, done very well for many, many years. But then we started realizing, well, how do we do more? How do we penetrate markets we're not in right now? You know, how do we get to deals that we're not even seeing or being part of? And we realized that the way we do it is we got to find partners. We got to find people that do have access to those deals that we aren't finding. And so some time ago, we switched to a partner-driven model. And so for us, we want more partners because we want to do more deals. But in turn, we feel like we offer a tremendous amount of value to our partners. Because if you're one of our partners, this is what you get. Number one, you're interacting with us just about on a daily basis, or you can do it just about on a daily basis if you so choose, which means you're getting coached, you're getting mentored. Number two, we're going to generate leads for you. We're going to help you with marketing, right in your own marketplace. We're going to even provide light skip tracing, which we pay for. So we handle the lead generation part. Next, once we identify the right deal in your marketplace, I'm going to provide 100% of capital to do the deal. I'm going to provide 100% of the capital to fix the property, which means if you're a partner of ours, you don't have to spend even $1 out of pocket on deals. That's still part of our responsibility. And then our construction outfit is going to help you and I fix it. And then when we sell it, we split the profits down the middle, 50-50. And if this is what this is for you, if you're excited about that way of doing real estate, and let me tell you, in my opinion, that is literally the best thing since sliced bread, then you need to be one of our partners. And you can do that by simply going to our website anytime tonight or after you're done listening at www.partnerdriven.com. There you can learn more about our partners that are already working with us. You can learn more about even more value that I just explained to you. And if it's the right move for you, put your information in there. A team member of ours will be touching base, and before you know it, you and us could be doing deals right where you live, just like that. So those are all the to-dos. Those are all the pleasantries. So now let's get into the meat of what I want to talk to you guys about today. And it's so often that when I sit somewhere and I do these Tuesday night webinars, I try to talk, in essence, I try to say something really cool and something really positive, like, here's how you do this, here's a new screwdriver. And, I don't talk about screwdrivers, but I mean, you always try to create some positive value. But as much as I like to talk to you about positive things, one of the things I always tell you is I want to be upfront with you. One thing I don't do, see, when you've done something as long as I have and you've achieved a little success, there's really no reason to sugarcoat things, okay? And there's definitely no reason to sugarcoat things if you're looking for partners, because the last thing you want to do is sugarcoat somebody into something, okay? So, and those of you that are already our partners know that I don't sugarcoat. I mean, we have a private, one of the things that our partners get is they get a private Facebook community for them to interact among themselves, for them to interact with me. And, I try to add value on that by trying to do, a video, maybe once a day, a live video on there. And for those of you that are our partners, will validate this. I don't sugarcoat it. A couple of days ago, I did a video about no BS. No BS was a video about simply just how difficult this business is. And, many times I do videos about the struggles of this business. Bottom line is this: as much as I could sit here and pump up this business and tell you what an incredible business this is, and just, what's possible, I'd love to sit here and share with you a little bit more about my lifestyle, just what I've done in the last 30 days. For some people, it's a lifetime of things that we just did in the last 30 days. My next 60 days are going to be like 4 lifetimes for some people. And that's all good, and that's all fun, and that's all great. And I know in the end, that's to a degree why we all want to do this business. But today I want to talk to you about something else. Today I want to talk to you about some of the downside things that happen in this business and how you can encounter them, and how reality is, and to a certain degree, a little bit unfortunate. Some of you guys are set up in such a way that you're heading head over heels right in the direction of a wall. And the reason I say this is because I've been there. It's kind of like, it's like if a house only has one door, everybody has to walk through that door to get into the house, right? Well, the reality of this business is this business to a certain degree has only one entry point too. And so it's not by like that you're making a mistake necessarily. It's not like somebody tricked you into something. It's just you're following the herd. You're doing what everybody else does. And in the end, here's the reality of it. What so many people do in this business, especially in the beginning stages, is something that literally from day one puts them in a position to fail. Now think about it. Anything else you do in life, like pretend you're going to get a surgery, right? Would you put yourself with the surgeon from day one? You're like gonna like die if he operates on you. You wouldn't even think about going to someone like that, right? Would you go to college from day one? You knew that everybody that graduates from that college never ever has gotten a job before. Would you go into a marriage knowing that your husband or wife is, on the side married to 20 other people? I mean, if you think about it, there's really not many things that you and I would do in life that we knew going into them we're setting up our failure and still do them. But you know what? That's exactly what so many of you guys are doing in this business. And again, it's not the fault. It's not your fault. It's not that you were misled in any way. It's just that that's what this business attracts. And let me tell you something that so many people don't like, would probably never share with you. But let me give you the ultimate proof. And I don't, there's, again, over a period of time, so many people listen to our webinars here. But if you're in a beginning stage of this business, and I call beginning stages if you haven't done more than 1 or 2 deals, beginning stages does not mean you're like a month old. You could be 2 years into this thing, right? And if you still haven't done anything, you're in the beginning stages, right? So let's consider beginning stages. You're under 2 or 3 deals deep into this business. Think about how many other people in this business that are in the same beginning stages that are making very good money. And so here's my contention. Even I, at my level, as networked as I am, I don't know any beginners that are making money in real estate. I mean, think about this. You're in a business right now. I mean, it's like this. Would you buy a franchise that's sold 200 franchises and not one of them's making money? Well, some of you guys are in this business. Well, everyone listening to me is in the business. There's thousands and thousands of people. And again, my contention is very simple. None of them, maybe, I'm not talking about the outliers, but almost no one, especially in the beginning, is making any money. That's pretty scary, right? I mean, think about the odds. I mean, people go to Vegas and sometimes the house has like a 60-40 odds on you and you're still getting clobbered. In blackjack, I think it's like 51-49 and you're still getting clobbered. In real estate, honestly, if you really look at it, it's like 98-2. But there's a lot more people in real estate than there is in Vegas. So first of all, what in the heck exactly am I talking about? What is this failure thing that I'm talking about? I want to address that. But most importantly, I want to start walking you through it because in my opinion, everything I'm going to tell you about the reality, because you're living it right now. If you're listening to me in your beginning stages, I'm not telling you anything you don't know. I might be telling you things you don't want to admit. I might be telling you things that you don't want your wife to hear or your husband to hear or that. But deep down inside, you're nowhere near where you want to be. And if you look around you, no one else is really where they want to be either, right? And so let me tell you what the topic is today. The topic today is very simple. You cannot, in my opinion, build this business alone. You can't. And the problem with that is this. It's almost like an inverse relationship. First of all, let me tell you, at my level, it'd be very difficult for me to build it alone. But it's a lot easier for me to build it alone 20 years into it than you in the beginning stages. So one, it is nearly impossible to do it alone. And number two, it's even more nearly impossible for the new person to do it. Right? So now you're really starting to stack up odds. Now it's like, well, maybe you are better off in Vegas with 60-40 odds or 51-49, right? So let's think this through. Because if you think about it, why would you want to get in a business where the odds are so much stacked against you? Well, the reason you're in it is because the barriers to entry are so little in this business. That's why. I mean, some of you would love to have a McDonald's, but you don't have the couple $1,000,000 that you need to do it, right? So you get into real estate because like the barrier to entry is like right here. It's like non-existent. Everybody could jump in, right? So here's what starts happening in this business that starts working against you from the get-go. Think about this. Everybody gets into real estate to do real estate, right? I mean, that's really the bottom line. You're in real estate to do real estate. And if you had to, like, I've never done this, but if I Googled real estate investing, the definition that like Wikipedia, I think it's called, that Google, that Yahoo would have, is pretty similar to what I would have, pretty similar to what you have. Real estate is like doing real estate deals, like buying properties, maybe fixing properties, whatever, right? But here's what nobody tells us, and here's what nobody will ever share with you. Real estate is way bigger than that. Real estate is not just real estate. And the reason that real estate is not just real estate is the reason so few people become successful. See, in the end, real estate is a culmination of like 20 other skill sets that you never even think about when you get in this business. And because very few of us, if any, like I know I don't have them, and because very few of us have the ability to excel or at least perform each one of these skill sets at a certain level, is why very few people become successful. You get into it to buy a house, right? What you don't know is you got to know how to raise money too. Nobody gets into real estate to raise capital, right? I mean, raising capital is an art form unto itself, right? I mean, there's people making millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars on Wall Street raising capital, right? And now you're just popping into real estate. Just you want to do some good things for yourself, for your kids, for your family. And now you're in this thing, and now all of a sudden you're like, oh, I got to raise capital. So guess what? So now you need a skill set to raise capital. Think about this. When was the last time somebody taught you how to raise capital? Like, can you pinpoint somewhere in life? Like, did your dad ever teach you how to do it? Did your mom? Did your best buddies, uncle teach you? Did school teach you? Like, did you have a college course called Raising Capital, right? It's a skill set that none of us have ever really been taught before we got in this business, right? So then what do? Because you need it, right? I mean, real estate is a money intensive business. We all know that. So then what do? You try to learn how to raise capital. And so here's the problem that we run into. Imagine going to college, and instead of like majoring in, like you hear people, I'm a double major. And it's like, somebody tells me I'm a double major. Well, to me, like a single major is phenomenal because I couldn't even do that right. But if somebody ever tells me they're like a double major, I'm like, whoa. And like, I don't know if even triple or quadruple majors even exist. If they did, that's like over my head, science level. You got about 20 skill sets here that you're going to have to start majoring in immediately. Think about that. Think about it. If I told you right now, you got to go back to school. And by the way, you're not going to be just majoring in raising capital. You're going to be majoring in 20 other things. Oh, and by the way, you're going to have to do it right away. You're going to have to do it simultaneously. While you're learning, you're going to have to do it also. So it's like, imagine being a doctor, you're going to school Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and Thursday and Friday, you're like operating. That ain't going to happen. Like, no one's going to go under the knife that somebody who's in school Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, right? But in this business, you kind of do things at the same time. So 20 skill sets, 20 majors. Simultaneously, you got to learn them all. Oh, simultaneously, you got to implement them all. By the way, simultaneously, you got to do it the right way, because like if you do 15 right, but if you really screw up the construction piece, it all falls apart. So you got to do it like perfectly as you're learning it, right? Are you getting what I'm saying here? When you really start thinking through this business, when you really start analyzing what it really means to build this business, the things that you're really thinking that are holding you back may not be things that are holding you back at all. You're always focusing on the big things in this business. And I get it. You're like, oh, I need to negotiate better, or I need to market better. I get it. That's kind of where we all tend to focus in on. But those other things, those other skill sets, they're just as important. They're just as critical. And because almost no one, this is why no one's really making money out there, because no one could really execute them and do them simultaneously, while learning simultaneously, while performing simultaneously, while executing simultaneously, while leaving no room for error, because none of those things ever happen. This is why people are just kind of spinning the wheels. Again, one of the biggest problems with it is nobody really understands that's the underlying problem. And if you don't understand that's your underlying problem, you're fixing something here, whereas I'm telling you, no, yeah, that's a problem, but let me tell you the 20 other things that are a problem. See, and if you think about this, here's the other problem when you analyze this business in such a way. And by the way, this is a real way to analyze this business. The skill sets that you need to build this business are not related. They're not related. I mean, what does raising capital from a banker in a suit, in a tie, in an office have anything to do with hammering a nail and trying to save like 30% at Home Depot, right? And understanding the dimensions of this like groove and how it needs to be formulated and be zero. It's one thing to be majoring, I'm majoring in math and science, kind of related. You could say math and science, there's some interconnectivity. There's absolutely no interconnectivity in the skill sets of real estate. The 20 things that you need to really get good at, they don't have anything to do with each other, right? So here it is. You're a typical person, like I was a typical person that got started in this business. I got into it, and here's the other problem, because nobody really thinks about real estate this way, and nobody understands that these are the issues with real estate. It hits you like a ton of bricks, right? So these skill sets literally come up. It's one thing to go to college and somebody writes down, okay, here's the 4 or 5 majors, and so here's the books. Let's get you ready. Let's get you registered for teachers. Let's have maybe an entry interview with you so we could put you in the right skill set. Not in real estate. It's like trial by fire, right? I mean, I remember when I got started in this business, one day I'm like, oh, okay, this is the day I got to understand how the construction piece works. And next day, not even thinking about it, not even realizing that I needed to do this. Next day, it was totally unrelated problem. It had to do with title work. Okay. And like, what the heck who have to do with each other? Nothing, like zero. But so you see, these skill sets are hitting you with no warning, with no anticipation, with no proper kind of entry point. They're literally hitting you like this. Here's the other problem. They're hitting you in real time. Meaning it's not like, if you fly an airplane, you get in one of those things called the simulator, and you can get up there and you could really screw around with it. You can go backwards and forwards, and then you could like crash and you're good. You're walking out, no problem. Can't do it. I mean, this is happening in real life deals, because that's really the only way to understand this thing. You can't simulate, a title issue. It's hard to simulate raising capital. What are you going to do? Sit across the table from like a pretend banker and try to talk to him? No one really does that. No one really teaches that, right? So you can't simulate. So you're learning in a job. It's no different than, again, being a surgeon and just learning as you go. See, in some industries, it is insane. Would you get in a plane with somebody that's learning as they go? No. I mean, they could be co-pilot, they could be simulator dudes, right? But you will never get in a plane with somebody that's like, hey man, I'm just learning this thing, but I got you, right? You're not going to go to a doctor like that. You may not even go to a chef like that. That's like learning as they go, and they're like, they don't understand anything, right? Because at least you want some kind of quality when you're eating something. See, in this business, you're literally learning as you go, because you cannot simulate real estate. You can't simulate this thing. You could hypothesize, do hypotheticals. You could read books, attend to seminars, webinars. But again, it's all hypothetical, right? Sooner or later, you got to get there and you got to execute this thing. And that's when the execution never comes in line with the hypothetical, all right? And so we get into this thing for one thing. We get into this thing with the skill sets we bring into it, because no one teaches all the skill sets that are really needed in this business to be successful. There's really no real life training for real estate. And so you get into it, trial by fire. You got to execute many things. No connection between them. Oh, by the way, when you're getting into it, no one's really there to help you, right? I mean, I remember when I got started 20 years ago, literally you can go down the line, and every one of these skill set, every person I came in contact with, their only point for me was to screw me. Literally, that was it. Like, okay, how can I screw Peter here? How can I take advantage of him here? How can I grab, another $5,000 from him? So the people that you think are helping you, they're just really making money off of you. They're looking at you as a one-trick pony. None of those people, when I started, looked at me as a 20-year veteran, 20 years down the road. None of those people looked at me the way they should have looked at me, as this is a guy that could give me like 3,000 potential jobs. They all looked at me as the way they look at all the typical newbies, a one-trick pony. So let's squeeze them for everything we can. So people that I thought were on my side were never on my side, okay? So the more you kind of start looking at this and analyzing this, the more you start realizing, okay, I get it. This is why I go to RIA clubs, and no one, like, who's making money? Everyone's excited. Everyone loves the business. but no one really, and it's like the more someone's doing in the business, the less they love it, right? And some of you guys are there right now. And it's because of that. It's a very big, it's a complicated, it's a very, it's a dangerous business. It's a business that really has many times no fail-safe mechanisms. It doesn't, compensate you for error. It doesn't give you second chances. The only second chance you get in real estate is if you could withstand the mistake you made, right? I mean, you make a $10,000 construction mistake, no one gives you a mulligan on it like you do in a golf course, like, oh, take the shot again. Nope, not here. You make a $10,000 construction mistake, either you got it and you absorb it or you're out. That's it. Those are the only options. And so sooner or later, enough of these kind of mistakes along the way are made that most people are out, right? Not because they had any intention of being out. They never understood what they're getting into, okay? And so now look at me, 20 years in the business. I'm still encountering the exact same issues. Thousands of deals into this thing. You think by now I'd be like brilliant at all these skill sets, right? You think by now I could like go out there and I could like fix a house myself. I can't. You think by now I could go out there and raise $1 trillion. I can't. So even someone like myself, with everything I've gone through and everything I've been through, I'd love to sit here and tell you I've mastered them all. I'm the one guy that did it. Hey, 20 degrees, all real estate related, finance degree, real estate related, raise capital, fix, title, 20,000 other, negotiations, marketing, all these different skill sets. I got them all, guys. I don't. Now, there's a couple skill sets that I've developed over that period of time. No question about it. And there's a couple skill sets that have propelled me to some very high levels in this business. No question about it. But that comes with time and practice, okay? That's it. Because I've practiced, let's say, negotiating for so long, I've considered myself a great negotiator. I think I'm a great marketer and stuff like that. But I haven't mastered all 20 skill sets. So what's the answer? Because there are some people making money, right? I mean, there are some people making money in this business. We don't know any newbies right now making money, but there are some people that get past that and they make money. So what is the trick? How do you overcome this huge pile? How do you overcome these mountains? It's only one way to do it. And I'm just telling you, there is no shortcutting what I'm about to tell you. There is no like gliding through it. There is no escaping it. There is no like going around it. There is not like going to someone else who's going to give you a different answer, because anyone who's successful has what I'm going to tell you. See, just like there's only one doorway into this business, okay? The ultimate pathway that most of us take who become successful, it's the same. Now, I'm not saying we're doing the same techniques. I'm not saying we're doing the same strategies. I'm not saying we're in the same geographical areas. I'm not saying we're doing the same. No, I'm not saying that. But I am saying overall the pathway that we've all taken, it's pretty much the same. It's the only way to do it. How do you do it? You got to have a team. That's it. You have to have a team. That's the answer. The answer to this business is you have to have a team that does have the skill set. I don't have the skill set. My team has the skill set. See, to this day, I don't know all the title problems, but I know when I sit in my Monday meetings with Mary, my closer, and she goes over all the deals we're closing, and then she says, and these are title issues. I never ask her, like, what are the title issues? I just know they're handled because Mary has a skill set and understanding how to work those and how to make them happen, right? When I get an email, I'll be on my computer and I get an email about our deal in wherever, Lancaster, let's say PA, that we're fixing. And that is an actual deal that I'm doing right now with a partner in Lancaster. And an email comes in about construction. I don't have to know how to interpret it. I know my construction guy, Roman, he's got a handle on it. He's got it. I don't got to worry about it. It's done. right? I know when I need capital, there's someone else. That's a done deal, right? That when marketing needs to be done, I don't need to worry about it. I have someone else. That's another done deal. And so the skill set really is not necessarily real estate. I'm in real estate. Nobody will look at me and tell me I'm in anything else, and people look at me as a real estate investor. Well, my skill set is really putting together that killer team that has the skill set to execute it. You know, it's like looking at a basketball team. And there's, you know, I don't know too much about basketball, but I know there's things called guards and there's things called centers and, you know, forwards and, you know, there's defense. There's, you see what I mean? It's assembling a team with a different skill set. And so the coach or the manager, he's the one directing the whole thing. But the execution comes from the team. And that's really how I look at myself. Directing the team, I've assembled the team, but in the end, the team is the one that's executing these deals, doing everything. So all this to say, can't do it yourself. I'm just telling you right now. It's why you're struggling. It's why you're right now not kind of hitting on all cylinders, because you are trying to do it yourself. You haven't really thought about this thing. I mean, now you've thought about a team. You just think, well, when I make money, I'll have a team. I get it. No, doesn't work that way. So it's all about having the team around you. It's all about aligning yourself with the right people. It's all about managing that team correctly. So a little bit more bad news, and then I'll give you some good news. So now that I've, you know, hopefully you're following me, you're seeing what I'm, you know, you're probably seeing in your own investing. You're like, okay, yeah, that makes total sense. Here's the problem. How do you assemble a team when you're brand new, right? You know, and remember, real estate, you're competing at the highest levels here. You might be doing your first deal, but let me tell you something. You don't have time to screw this one up, right? And you don't have the money to screw it up, which means you have to compete at the highest level. You got to execute it brilliantly. You don't got 10 grand. This might be your final 10, 20 grand. You lose this, you're dead. One deal can lose 10, 20 grand like that. So you have to execute at the highest level, but you're a beginner, right? It's like saying, hey, I'm a coach. I've never coached anyone before, but I'm going to enter the team into the NBA. Who's going to play for me? No one. Why? Because you're just a beginner. You don't have any history, which means it's another problem beginners face. Even when you understand what I'm talking about, you then get caught up in the fact that, well, who's going to be on my team? How do I get like the high caliber player on my team? It's very hard, right? Because you have nothing to sell them on. What are you going to sell that unbelievable contractor that you're going to give him 100 jobs when you could barely afford one, right? So A, you need a team. B, it's very difficult to assemble the right team. It's very easy to assemble the wrong team. And Bowen, let me tell you something. I can give you a seminar on assembling the wrong team, okay? I lived there, done that, and I've been screwed over by every single wrong team possible. So it's very hard to assemble the right team when you get started. So how do you do it? Well, have you ever thought about aligning yourself with somebody that has the right team? What if you say, listen, I get it, you need a team. I get I don't have all the skill set. So now I have to align myself with somebody that does have a team. Well, why would somebody have a team align yourself with somebody who doesn't bring a ton to the table? Well, for instance, take me. I need local people. I have a brilliant team, 20 years in development, thousands of deals behind us. But because my model is such that I do deals across the nation, I need local people, you know, because real estate is still a local business, okay? I could sit here in Atlanta and tell you how great I am and how I do deals across the United States, but what I also have to be honest with you and tell you that in all these places I do deals, I have local partners Because in the end, you still need that local presence to execute, okay? To do the day-to-day stuff, to potentially oversee, potentially partake in. So this is why I feel like my model is so key to so many people. See, I need the new guy. I need the experienced guy. I need the guy that's willing to go out there and execute and be the boots on the ground and put the time and effort in. But in the end, the local person needs me more because I have those other 20 skill sets that you don't have. And this is why our partner-driven model works so well. It's a win-win deal. By helping you, I'm helping myself. So this is not meant for me to say that the only way you could become successful is by partnering with us. No, but I am telling you this, you better figure it out. You better figure out if it's not us, it's got to be someone else, or you got to start assembling those 20 skill sets. Either you got to learn them all yourself and become really good at them and execute them well that you don't screw them up, or you got to start partnering or aligning yourself with somebody else. Because here's the thing, you can't do it without these skill sets. It's no different than entering a race car in a Formula One race and saying, I got everything, but my back tires just run out. You can have the best of the best. You're coming on. And that's how this works. So those are really the decisions you have to make. Do you want to go out there and you want to either that is another option and become a 20 university. That's an option. You potentially align yourself with us. We got all the 20 here. Option number 3, go somebody like us. That's really the only way to do it. Otherwise, you start starting, you're just continuously doing it. So I'll help you guys about what I said today. It took me a long time to realize, it took me a tremendous amount of heartache, loss, tremendous amount of and then that's to be part of our team where we're coaching you and mentoring you, generating leads, all the capital deals. Our construction of it helps you fix it. Check us out at our website, www.partnerdriven.com. Guys, always enjoy it. I love it. These student nights are to us quarterly. I'll always say, we'll see you guys same time, same place next week. Thanks, guys.